In this session, let's look at the process perform integrated change control 4.6. So this is the sixth process under project integration management knowledge area. Second out of 12 monitoring and control process group. Perform integrated change control. The key activities of this process includes reviewing change requests, approving the changes, managing changes to deliverables, documents and project management plan, and communicating the decisions to right stakeholders and project team members. The benefits of this process include integrated consideration of project changes as it documents them, and effective addressing of project risks as we are documenting and integrating the project changes. This process is performed throughout the project. The ultimate responsibility lies to perform this process for integrated change control lies with the project manager. The change requests go through this process only after the project is baseline. So this is one of the main criteria to be taken care before we start the change control process. The source for change control is configuration management plan and project baseline. A change in configuration element will require a change request. Change control board is the chartered group responsible for decisions under this process. Most important takeaway from this slide is this process is not one-time activity. This has to be done throughout the project life cycle. Second one is we cannot start this process or have any activities unless we have baseline the different parameters of the project. So which we had seen earlier like schedule, cost, quality and so on and so forth. The change requests can impact the project scope and the product scope and any other project management plan component. So these changes might be requested at any point of the project by any of the stakeholder or the project team member. So this change control is defined or agreed based on the what kind of application area, what is the complexity of the project, what are the contractual requirements, context, environment in which the project is performed. And it is essential for us to document all the change requests and also the decisions for those requests. So the decision is taken typically by the change control board, which reviews, evaluates, approves or defers or reject the changes initiated by the project team or the stakeholders, and they will also communicate the decisions. Documentation is important, and CCB change control board is the owner for the final decision. The decisions of CCB has to be incorporated in the different components of the project, like might be cost estimates, activity sequence, schedule dates, resource requirements, any other risk response activities. But here we need to remember there are some instances where if the threshold values of any of these parameters like cost, schedule, resource or the risks is beyond or which is not agreed or which is not in line with the baselining, then we need to have an approval from the customer or the stakeholder. So see, after post CCB, there are also situations where we need to take approval from the other stakeholders. Let's move to the input, tools and techniques and output of this process 4.6 perform integrated change control. As usual, the one of the major input is project management plan, which we discussed in 4.2. The major components which we need to give attention as in for the input of this process are change management plan, configuration management plan, scope baseline, schedule baseline, and cost baseline. Change management plan, which is basically the output of process 4.2, which provides the direction for managing the change control process. And also, this plan will document the roles and responsibilities of the CCB members or the CCB unit, change control board unit. So configuration management plan, which is an output of process again 4.2, which typically gives what are the configurable items, then what are the things we need to record and update so that the deliverable of the project remains consistent. Scope baseline, which is an output of process 5.4 in the scope management area. The scope baseline provides the project and product definition. Schedule baseline, which we are going to discuss, and is an output of 0.6.5 process. So which addresses the impact of the changes to the project schedule. And cost baseline, process 7.3, which is used to assess the impact of the changes to the project cost. Then other input for this process is project documents, various project documents, which includes and not limited to basis of estimates, which is an output of process 6.4, change log, again output of process 6.4, requirement traceability matrix, again output of process 5.2, and risk report, an output of process 11.2. So basis of estimates indicates how the duration, cost and resource estimates have been derived and how to calculate the changes with respect to time, budget and resources. Change log capture all the uh, change requests. Requirements traceability matrix helps us to assess the impact of changes on the project scope. Risk report represents the information of overall project risks which are all affected by change requested. The next input is work performance report, which we had as an output in process 4.5. Various reports with respect to schedule cost, earned value, burnt out charts are used as an input for this process. Change requests, which is an output of process 4.3, which includes corrective action, preventive action, defect repairs, and any other control documents, updates of control documents and deliverables, which reflect the changes. Then next input is enterprise environmental factors, which includes legal restrictions, government and industry standards, legal and regulatory requirements, organization governance framework, and contracting and purchasing constraints. I hope these all are already discussed, and we will just give attention to these line items with respect to enterprise environmental factors. One more input for this process is organizational process assets, which we are seeing in all processes. Some of the line items we need to give attention under this input is change control procedures, procedures for approving and issuing change authorities, organizational standard policies, process and procedures, and configuration management knowledge base, which are again self-explanatory. So change control procedure is basically what has been arrived or agreed at the enterprise level, how the changes to be handled. So that we need to consider as an input before we perform this process. So any procedures for approving the authorities like CCB members, change control board members, or exceptions, escalation, and so on and so forth should also be known or to be collected as an input before we execute this process. And obviously, organization level standard policy, organization policies, process, and procedures to be considered. And the last one is configuration management knowledge base. So from the previous projects or which has been defined like BOMs or the SAP data. So those things should be considered as input for or before we perform this process. The tools and techniques for this process, the first one is expert judgment. So the expert judgment, as we know, collecting the advice of the subject matter experts, either individual or the groups. For this process, we need to ensure the expert team has the right expertise with respect to the following aspects. The first one is technical knowledge of the domain knowledge, legislation and regulation. So with respect to the regulations and the legislation, basically the configuration management, especially when we are working with critical projects with respect to defense, aerospace, which are concerned with the human life and so on. Legal and procurement knowledge. Before we change anything, we should be knowing the implications, legal implications, and how it might affect the suppliers or the supply chain. The expert team should have that knowledge. Configuration management. So how the configuration management has to be addressed, especially when we have now the new technologies like blockchain, supply chain automation, and so on. Last but not least, the risk management skills the expert should have so that we can leverage their services for executing the process. Next, tools and techniques which you can leverage for this process. Change control tools. What is this change control tool? Whenever I want to manage the configuration or the change, we can either have a manual system or an automated tool. Manual system will be a little more cumbersome, or sometimes it takes out a lot of effort. But thanks to the IT, the technology, so we have a lot of automated tools available in the market which can be leveraged to manage the changes. Especially the configuration control is as it is focused on specification of the both the process and the deliverables. And the change control is focused on identification, documentation, and approving of the changes and the changes to the deliverables or baseline. So it is essential for us to keep updating those changes, and especially when the project is very complex or it is done by globally diversified teams, then we need to have some kind of tools to effect these changes and communicate to the different stakeholders at appropriate time. So when we are selecting a tool for the change control management, we should ensure that the tool has got the following features. So the tool should be able to identify the configuration item. So identification of the configuration is item is very much essential, which ensures that the documents are labeled, changes are managed, and accountability is maintained. The tool should have a should have a provision for recording and reporting configuration item status. The tool should also have a performance configuration item verification and audit feature, as audit is an essential part to ensure that the change management is done effectively. The tool should also support the following activities like identify the changes, document the changes, decide the changes, or track the changes. The next tool and technique for this process is data analysis, which typically includes alternative analysis and cost benefit analysis. The alternative analysis is used to assess the requested changes and decide which are all accepted, rejected, or need to be modified to be finally accepted. Cost benefit analysis helps us to determine if the requested change is worth its associated cost. Alternative analysis is discussed in process 9.2, and cost benefit analysis will be discussed in detail in 8.1. The other tool and technique is decision making, which typically includes voting, autocratic decision making, or multi-criteria decision analysis. So voting will be basically in the form of unanimity or majority or plurality to decide whether we need to accept or defer or reject the change request, which we discuss in process 5.2. Autocratic decision making is like one individual have the veto and he takes the decision. Multi-criteria decision making will be discussed in process 8.1, which is used uh, which leverages a decision matrix to provide a systematic analytical approach to evaluate the requested changes with a predefined criteria. So these are the tools and techniques which we can leverage for executing this process 4.6 perform integrated change control. Outputs of this process 4.6 perform integrated change control or approved change requests, project management plan updates, and project documents updates. Approved change requests. Through this process, we are going to approve the change requests as per the change management plan by the project manager or the CCB or any assigned team member. So this becomes the change request approval is one of the output of this process. The second output is project management plan updates. As we know, so when we have this uh, performing the change control, we may have to update a lot of elements of the project management plan, which is also an output. The last one is project documents updates. So many project documents we need to update. So that also becomes one of the output. So with this, we conclude all the inputs, outputs, and tools and techniques for this process. The next slide will give you a bird's eye view of the summary of input, tools and techniques and outputs for this process.